Welcome to another episode of Better Performance. In this episode, we are going to discuss the gRPC. Again, here we are going to have some comparison of the gRPC versus REST, but in this episode, we will see the next step of gRPC. In the communication style, we have discussed that REST is having a less performance than gRPC. In the previous sessions, we have seen that gRPC is giving approximately 6 times better performance than REST. Now, in case of streaming, it has even a better performing application. So let us see that how gRPC is going to help you in application performance. As we discussed that gRPC service method has 4 unary method: server streaming, client streaming, bidirectional streaming. In this episode, we will focus onto the server streaming, client streaming and bidirectional streaming. I'll come later. But in the server streaming, you will see that it has approximately huge difference onto the performance that we will see at the end of presentation. So stay tuned till end. You will see that how much benefit you are going to get onto server streaming. So example we are going to take onto the server streaming is, we will have a list of items. It will be a static list, and we will send a request as a category to server. Server will send the response of all the items which is satisfying that category, and it will come back to client. Client will fetch all the informations as a stream. Also, it will send in order, and client will receive in through the same order from the server. So let's jump over onto the application and see that how it can be coded. So here we are going to see onto that how it is going to be. So let us go onto the server side. Into the server side, first we will create the list of item protocol buffer. So here we are going to have the two messages. One is that input is going to be item request. We will have that category, and response is going to be item name, category and item ID. And we will create a service. Service is item service. In this item service, we will have that get item, and this get item will send the item request, that is your category, and it will send the stream response of item. So here one change, you can see that it is a stream response. In this stream response, every stream will have item name, category and item ID. So this will be sent. So let us go and have this compile. So once we go onto the terminal, we go and do the mvn compile. It will create the required files. While it is compiling, I will show you that how we are going to have a static load. So static data I'm loading as a list object. Here you can see that list of 11 object has been created, and this 11 items has been with the different category. Category is a toy, book and watch. We will go and have this onto the client's server stream gRPC, and this server stream gRPC is going to extend that item service implementation base, same we have done onto hello service. Now in this we are going to statically initiate the item. Once we have that item, we are going to get that item request as a stream. It will have the stream observer and item response. Every stream items which has been created, it will filter. After filtering, it will send that for each item. It will create an item builder, and this item builder will be sent onto the next item. Once it is sending completed all the items, then it will go and on complete, it will complete. So this is the server coding. Let us go on to the client coding. In the client side also, we will have the same item protocol buffer. In this item protocol buffer, we will have very same services to be created. Once client is created, we will have that item service client. In this item service client, we are going to call the gRPC. In this I have done one change, that this item service blocking stub I have done using the bean. So if you look onto here, I have created a channel config. In this channel config, you can see that I'm creating a bean, and this bean is calling localhost at 8085. This is a server port. And after that, we are creating a blocking stub over here, but this blocking stub is with the stream. So the blocking stub we had earlier was only for Unary. Here we will have that stream blocking stub. So after this stub, we are going to call the system onto the item service client. And once this service client is created, we will get this data. We will iterate. Here I am just doing that count, that how many time I am going to count or call this service. So we will have that initial date and end date. So we'll see that how much time it takes to process the entire request. So this is a client for gRPC. Now let's go on to the REST endpoints as well. In the REST endpoints, we have that item service REST. In this item service REST, again same thing, taking from the item list, creating an object for each, adding into the item list, and then returning this list to the REST endpoints. Onto the client side, we are creating this controller. Onto this gRPC controller, get item, category, and count. So this is going to call gRPC. And second, onto this REST endpoints, I'm going to call the multiple data over there, that how it is going to get items. So once it is done, we'll run both the programs. So this is running. Now I'll go on to the item service. Here I am going to run. This is starting. While it is starting, it is building, and once it will be built, it will be running. But I have done certain POC and running on this, so I will go on to again back to the PPT. Here you will see that once we have done the running of both the services, REST and gRPC, you will see that onto the gRPC, I'm calling approximately 100,000 requests, exactly 100,000 requests. It is taking 1089 millisecond, whereas if we are using that REST endpoints for the same type of request, it is taking 37 seconds. So 1 second versus 37 seconds, approximately 35 times it is higher onto processing. So REST is always taking a more time, whereas gRPC is taking lesser time. So this is all onto this episode. We'll come onto the client streaming onto the next episode. Till then, keep experimenting, better performing. Thank you.